As a person that went through the addiction, I came from a good family. I've had every opportunity in the world to do anything. I was a baseball player. I had a scholarship to Rutgers, all kinds of things, the dreams I had. I got an injury, painkillers. Next thing I know, I'm sleeping under a bridge in Manhattan. So I'm an advocate for recovering addicts. And I think also recovering addicts need to go out there and show that we do recover. People do get better. And we see that here at Carrier. And I think that's why we're so passionate on what we do. Because we see people get better. I'm living proof of that. We have a few other people here that are living proof of that. As well as, the problem that we're facing today. I'm from Hamilton Township, and I've seen my community get ravaged by this epidemic, completely ravaged. I also work for another nonprofit called City of Angels, which you probably heard of us, and we run solely off donations. We help people try to get into treatment and take care of some issues, all free of charge. All volunteers. We get to see it from different spectrums. I get to see it from different spectrums because I get people that are uninsured, there, that have nothing, and then I come here and I deal with people that are insured. The problem is they both get the least amount of care that any other disease would get. Our average stay is 6 days. People get off a taper, they go out, and they're still sick, and then we wonder why they come back.
Right.
Medicaid, I've actually had people die waiting for beds. I had a kid last year, 19 years old, waiting for a bed. They told him 3 weeks to get into a treatment program. 3 weeks for a heroin addict is a death sentence, and he didn't make it. He made it 2 weeks, and I got a call from his family, I'm so happy to have you here, because it definitely shows and will kill some of the stigma on this issue, and I hope we can move forward and try to understand, where we can put this funding to help nonprofits like Carrier, to help people get to the position that I'm grateful to be in. Carrier took a chance on me. I have the greatest record in the world. I got the state treatment, if you would like to call it that. But Carrier, gave me an opportunity, and I was able to build a life and put myself to use and be a productive member of society. There's a lot of people like me out there. I see them every day. I see them over in my unit. I see them in our intensive outpatient. And it's amazing what these nonprofits are doing and these mom and pop organizations. I think we really got to focus on community, and where we can put the money for community to help this problem, because that's where it's going to start.
Here's Keith, who is in recovery, who is working every day with people who need his help, and to be a positive example and role model for them. But listen to what he said. He felt it necessary to say to me in the second sentence, when he looked at me, after even this conversation we had, he goes, "I'm from a good family." Like, that's what I'm talking about. This is a guy who understands it probably better than 99% of the people in New Jersey. Yet, at this moment, he felt that he had to defend the family he's coming from, so that I wouldn't assume that he was from some deadbeat family that had mistreated him, right? That's part of the guilt and the stigma that we place on each other. Now imagine someone who's not nearly as sophisticated and as experienced, although I'm sure you would trade it, but as sophisticated and experienced as Keith is now in this stage of his life. Imagine how they feel. I could tell you from my experience that they feel so badly, they don't even say it. They don't even say it because they're so ashamed of what has happened to them and what it means for their family.